We're gonna bring the sky down on their heads.
So you guys have long played strong women, but not always ones with such skill in like hand-to-hand combat. What was it like getting strapped up for this role? Angela, maybe you can start this one.
We had maybe about a week and a half. Well, Karen had, I'm sure she had the lion's share of it as well she needed, but we had about a week and a half, and I felt at times that I needed a little more, because the coordination of the hammers. I know, Carla, you had work with one hand, but they working with two. It's more to trip up on. But it was a lot of fun. We had great stunt coordinators who were very patient and really empowered us to believe that we could get it done, that we were getting it done, and we did.
I always feel like part of like doing any sort of role like this has to be believing that you can do it, or belief that this character is amazing at this. Do you know what I mean? And that is, of course, part of what acting is. But like, how do you sort of find that within you and go like, oh yes, my character would be excellent at tomahawks or whatever, Carla?
I think that's an interesting point. And I think that a lot of, some roles, if it's something like Sin City, that was a very unusual thing because we were doing literally page per page from the graphic novel. So that was about acting from the outside in, like, oh, which elbow is Lucille leaning on, But mostly a character is coming from the inside out, right? So some of the stunt training in and of itself was really helpful to go, okay, these women were assassins. And now they're sort of, seems to be more like they're just like actually giving the people who are still out in the field equipment that they need and providing resources for them. I thought, okay, so this is interesting. Madeline presents as being a very conservative, kind of peaceful person, quiet, like a librarian. And yet her past was totally different. And she maybe has turned her back to that for a little while. And now she's coming back into it. So that was sort of a way that I felt like, okay, this is what she used to be able to do. And it's a little bit like riding a bike. Here we go again.
It was fun. Just one simple word. It was just, you just have to throw yourself in there and go, what the heck? Let's just go for it. And I think all of us did. You can see the expression, I hate to say that, the expression of sheer joy when we go like, smash his head onto the table. Yeah. Otherwise, we are kind of gentle souls and we have deep conversations and we really enjoy being in each other's company. And it was fantastic to work with these amazing women. The
librarians, like, we don't really get their backstory, but there's clearly like years of support and care for each other there.
I think in a very short period of time, with the minute you walk into the library, already it tells you this place has history, so rich in history and knowledge. And you see those lions at the painting of them. And this is a place where whoever is in charge here is someone or people to be reckoned with. And I think it sets up the tone so well that when you see these three ladies come together, their body language, the way they start and finish each other's sentences, they have been together for a long time. They have been watching each other's back for a long time. They have a bond it's like a sisterhood. They're family, and they are fierce. They protect each other fiercely as well. I think that was something that drew me to the script in the first place, because I love working with women. They are so much fun, and they are also very emotional. And I like that drama where it's always deep in the gut. And then they're not afraid, to tell you or show you when it needs to be.
It has a lot of amazing women in it, but the script was written by a man and the movie was directed by a man. How do you think sort of he entered that world? Like that he sort of addressed this and tackled it in a way that feels true?
Nawad is a man? Oh, shoot. No, I'm kidding. No, that was the one thing that always drew me to this. I don't believe that men cannot write strong, fascinating women. It's like women can write strong, fascinating men. It goes the other way around. If you are a good storyteller, you are a good storyteller. It doesn't matter your gender or where you come from or, what race or whatever you are. You must be someone who is telling a story with a passion and is coming from, your within and is dying to come out and be seen and be heard. So he loves women, I think. No, it's not I think. I know he does, because the way he talks about them, he has got a feminine side. And I think it's only men who are very confident of themselves are not afraid to be and to embrace their femininity and, to explore that in different kinds of ways. And I think in this one, he brought out the fierceness of women, the love of women. But at the same time, if you get on my bad side and you touch one of my girls, our sisters, you're in for it.
So you guys have worked in Hollywood for a long time. This is a movie that's on Netflix, which sort of made me think about this. What do you think one of the most significant positive ways that you've seen the industry change has been? Is it streaming, representation?
Well, I definitely think representation, quantity and quality of roles. When I came through, what were there, like 4 stations and living in New York, and most film was not cast or done in New York, certainly not film that I could do. I had to move to California. So it's like the world has gotten smaller and just more complex and complicated, and an opportunity has expanded. So hopefully that will continue. I mean, I love that you can catch the middle of anything on Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and whatever. It's like so many choices and so many stories and opportunities.
Do you think that that's affected budgets in terms of like, yes, there are so many different things now, but everything's operating on a smaller budget, or is there just more money to go around?
I mean, I think that's an even longer conversation, but yeah, because it doesn't work on the same model as it used to, in the sense that you used to make a movie and then see how much it made at the box office as to whether it was a profit or not. And therefore, and now with Netflix and other streamers, it's much more about, do you get an audience, but it's not about those kind of numbers equating in the same way. So things are being made for more money and things are being made for less money. I mean, it's definitely the Wild West in that regard. I love being able to see something in the theater. There's just no doubt about that experience being really special. But I do think that what Netflix and the other streamers have allowed for us to do is have global audience, is really to have simultaneously the world see something. And so for me, art and entertainment and storytelling is so vital and brings us together and makes us realize that this world is very small. We're all, there's room for all of us in it. And I think that for me, seeing stories about other people have given me that viewpoint. And certainly that's one of the things that I love about acting, is being able to allow people to see the world through other people's eyes. So if we get more audience for that, then bring it on.
I love that, because that used to be, an excuse that you would hear, like stories about you don't travel.
Yeah.
You just, you can't, you don't buy that.
Yeah, I mean, even this morning, I was in the room waiting for Michelle, and like a bunch of the art journalists in there were international journalists, and your writer-director made a movie in Israel, and like that got seen here and then got kind of brought over, and this is a pretty international production, which is also pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it was exciting too when we were all shooting in Berlin and looking at, Karen's Scottish and Lena is British, and we all, and Michelle and Angela and I, like a very eclectic mix of, and like you said, Navot is from Israel. It's like, that feels very representative of the world to me. This is the truth of the world. We aren't in our own little bubbles. So that was a really cool thing to see, just tangibly.